So, you want to write a novel. You have the idea, the characters, the vibes, the Pinterest board, but every time someone tells you to outline, your inspiration packs up and leaves the country. You shudder inwardly every time you hear the words story structure or scene cards because you're a pantser, and all the preparation kills your excitement and makes you not want to write anything at all. Here's the truth. You don't need a detailed outline in order to start writing a first draft. However, if you clicked on this video, chances are you feel like you need a sense of direction so that you can stay inspired throughout this process and not get lost halfway through. In this video, I'm going to show you the simplest, easiest, most pantser-friendly way to outline a novel in 25 minutes or less. No formulas, no rules, no 3x5 cards, just a fluid, flexible, creative roadmap that gives you the freedom and inspiration to dive confidently into that first draft. Welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Abbie and I help writers make their stories matter and make their author dreams come true. And if that's something you're on a mission to do, you're going to want to subscribe to this channel. I would love to have you here in the community. Okay, let's dive right into this process with step 1, which I like to call the brain detox. Basically, you're going to start by writing down all your ideas, even the ones that don't make sense yet. So I want you to grab a notebook or open a new Word document or Scrivener project and set a timer for 10 minutes. I promise this is not going to take a long time. Just set a timer and start writing. Just write down a free flow of your thoughts, every single idea or spark of inspiration you have had for this story idea. It could be character notes, vibe lists, random scenes that you don't know how they're gonna fit in, but you want this scene to be in there. It could be bits of dialogue or struggles that your characters go through or certain moments that you can just already visualize even though you don't have the full context of what's going on. Don't worry about the order of things or the quality of the writing at all. This is meant to be messy. It's meant to be a little chaotic. And if you have a hard time doing this, you can also use a speech to text app. So any phone usually does this. You can just start talking into your phone, into your notes app or something. I do this a lot when I'm trying to brainstorm for new projects, especially business projects. And it really helps to have a brainstorming session where you're talking out loud to yourself, speak all of that into your phone and have it dictate for you. And if you're having trouble even coming up with what to write down here, ask yourself these questions. Who is this story really about? What's their goal? What are they afraid of? What is the one scene that you can't wait to write? And remember, you're only giving yourself like 10 minutes to do this. So if you need more time, you can give yourself more time, but I urge you to set a timer so that your brain just like kicks into brain detox mode and you just get everything out in no logical order. Get it out onto the page, and then we can move on to step 2, which is to mark the major stops on your map. So I want you to think of the writing process like a road trip. And as you go on this road trip, maybe you are more of a spontaneous writer, maybe you're more of a pantser or a discovery writer, and you don't want to know every single place that you're going to go on this road trip. You want it to be a little bit spontaneous. You want it to be adventurous. You want to be surprised by what shows up on this road. This works great for a lot of writers. You don't necessarily need GPS telling you everywhere to turn left and stay in this lane and go down this road and take this exit. You don't necessarily need all that. If you're a writer who wants that GPS guiding you through the first draft, cool. But sometimes you don't need that. Sometimes you just need a map, but you need to know generally where you're going on that map, or else you will just be driving into oblivion, right? You will be taking roads that go nowhere and you might end up hitting a dead end. You want to avoid that as much as possible in the writing process. You want to get to your destination, which is the end of your story, and have a fun, spontaneous, adventurous ride along the way with a few stops already marked out on your map. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do here. We're gonna take that brain detox that you just made, that whole free flow of thought, and we're going to identify the 5 to 7 big moments that you want to include. Think of these like pins on your story's roadmap. These are the moments that you're already excited to write about. You can already visualize this scene in your mind. And you know that this is going to be a turning point for your character. It's going to be a pivotal moment. So these don't have to be in order yet, and they don't have to be perfect, but just placing those few pins on your story's roadmap will give you a sense of direction and keep you from getting lost and hitting a dead end. And it will still leave room for creativity along the way. You can still make stops that you weren't planning on making. So for example, some of these pivotal moments might be a meet cute that changes everything, a magical discovery that shifts the plot, a low point where all hope seems lost, a moment where your protagonist is forced outside their comfort zone, a long-awaited kiss scene, a betrayal that shatters the protagonist's trust, a quiet heart-to-heart conversation that heals an emotional wound. And these aren't required story beats, they're just moments that matter the most to you. You're basically trying to glimpse quick flashes of scenes that you know are going to appear in your story. And a good hack for this that I use all the time, and I don't think I've shared this before, but it's really helpful, is to put on a song, like put your headphones on and turn on a song that reminds you of your book. Better yet, if it's a song that you could almost see playing in the movie trailer if your book was a movie. Okay, and you know how in the end of a movie trailer, like the last 30 seconds, the editor will show quick flashes of a bunch of different scenes that really encapsulates the mood and the vibe of the story and shows you sort of the highlight reel of the best moments. Usually it's the most exciting moments, like a car chase or a building exploding or the long-awaited kiss scene. All of those moments come together in this really quick montage that shows you a glimpse of what the movie feels like. And these are the moments I want you to visualize for your story. Okay, so find a song that fits this, put your headphones on, get in the zone, close your eyes, and try to visualize this. What do you see? What are those flashes of scenes that show up in your mind's eye? Those scenes are good indications of where to place those pins on your story roadmap. So now it's your turn. Start looking through that brain detox document that you made, the whole brainstorming session, and try to identify those 5 to 7 big moments that would show up in the end of your movie trailer if your book was a movie. Think of these moments like trail markers. They're not going to take you through every single step of the hike, but they're going to give you a sense of direction so that you can keep moving forward. Thank you to Pro Writing Aid for sponsoring today's video. Are you feeling a NaNoWriMo-shaped hole in your life this year? If so, you're not alone. So many writers are disappointed that NaNoWriMo is no longer happening because we all loved the challenge, we loved the community, we loved the accountability. But what if I told you that something better is happening instead? This November, Pro Writing Aid is launching Novel November, a 30-day writing challenge designed to help writers turn their blank pages into a beautiful, finished novel. The goal is to write 50,000 words in 30 days, whether you are finishing a novel or starting a new draft, or you are writing a complete story during that time. You choose your goal, and it is 100% free to join this challenge. There will be daily writing sprints, live Q&As, and expert-hosted webinars to keep you motivated and supported. I am thrilled and honored to be included in the lineup of these amazing voices in the publishing world, and so excited to be a part of this challenge with you. I'm going to be doing a few Q&As live with you guys, as well as a few writing sprints, and here on my channel I'm going to be doing live writing sprints, like live Write With Me writing sessions every week. We'll be joined by dozens of other best-selling authors and writing experts sharing their strategies to help you finish your draft. So if you're ready to challenge yourself this November and write the book of your dreams, click the link below this video to sign up for Novel November. Again, it's 100% free to join. Anyone can join, and I think you're going to love this challenge. I know I am very excited to start writing in November. All right, moving on to step 3, organizing the chaos. So now that we have our brain detox of all of our ideas and we have those 5 to 7 big pivotal moments, we're going to take both of these things and organize them just a little bit more. And don't worry, it's not going to be a rigid structure that you cannot deviate from. You're not going to feel boxed in by this. Just the opposite. You're going to be able to see your story from this 1,000-foot view so that you can have that sense of direction. You know where it's going, you're excited about where it's going, but you also have the freedom and flexibility to deviate and change course a little bit if you want to. So taking those 5 to 7 big moments, you're going to lay them all out in a document, preferably a document where you can like move each one up and down if you want to, and you're going to reorder them. So just generally asking yourself about each pivotal moment, do I see this happening in the beginning, in the middle, or at the end? And even if you don't know the whole story yet, you kind of know where these moments are going to show up, right? If maybe it's a love confession scene, you know that's not going to happen until the midpoint. Or it's a meet cute, that's not going to happen at the end, it's going to happen towards the beginning. Or maybe there's a moment where one character betrays another character's trust. That could lead to a dark moment, and usually that shows up around the third act of the story. So we have these general indicators that show us, based on what the pivotal moment looks like, where it's going to show up in the story. And you don't even have to fill in the gaps here. I just want you to organize these 5 to 7 points. I want you to see where they show up so that you know what is the next trail marker, right? If we have trail markers scattered randomly over a whole mountain, then we won't know how to get from point A to point B and reach the top of the mountain. They have to be in some semblance of order in order for us to follow them. And if you want to take it one step further and you feel like, okay, this is too bare bones, I need a little bit more sense of direction, then I would recommend after each pivotal moment, ask yourself, what changes for my character now? How do they feel about this? What is their reaction? What is the internal conflict that they face in wake of this moment? Especially if it's an action of the plot that's affecting them, something that is external, that comes into their world and disrupts their plan. What is their reaction going to be to that? And then the action your protagonist takes in response is what fills in the gaps. It's the in between, the journey between each of those stops on your map. Like I always say, story is about character change. It's about the journey that your character goes on, both internally and externally. But we have to see what they feel in response to each pivotal moment in the story and how they're going to react to it and how it changes the game. Now at this point, you have the bare bones of an outline that you can follow with a sense of confidence and a sense of direction without feeling constricted by it, because it's very flexible. But if you can't determine quite yet whether you're ready to start writing that first draft, you don't know if you feel ready, I would recommend using what I call the staircase method. And the staircase method is basically this. Imagine writing your first draft is like you are walking up a staircase in the dark with just a flashlight to see by, and you can only see the next 3 to 5 steps in front of you. Do you really need to see the whole staircase? A lot of times writers who are intense outliners and plotters, they want to see the whole staircase. They want to know every single step of this journey. If you're more of a discovery writer or a pantser, you probably don't want to see the whole staircase, because then it takes the fun and the adventure out of it. For me personally, I have kind of adapted to be somewhere in between a plotter and a pantser. At this point, I need to see at least the next 5 steps, like the next 5 chapters in front of me, and have a general idea of where that staircase goes in order to feel confident enough to take that first step. If you can't see any of it, then you're in danger of falling down into the abyss. But maybe all you need to feel confident is to see those next 4 or 5 steps. And then once you get to the 5th step, you can outline the next 5 steps after that. This is a simple self-check that I do all the time to determine whether or not I'm ready to take the plunge and start writing a new book. So maybe ask yourself this question: do I feel confident enough to take those first few steps? Can I see far enough ahead of me that I know I'm not going to get lost or stuck? And if you're like,
no, I need more outlining, I need more preparation, I need to see specifically what's going to happen,
then I highly recommend checking out this video, which goes into my chapter by chapter outlining method. If you're actually a little bit more of an outliner than you originally thought, and you want more structure, more sense of direction going into your first draft. If not, you can go with what you have. Have the confidence in yourself to take that leap and just write. Write recklessly. I promise you will not regret it. You will discover something amazing about yourself as a writer. You'll discover your process. And the only way to discover your process is to just start writing. You can't discover your process if you spend weeks and months and years researching the best way to do something but never actually doing it. You learn by doing. Again, I invite you guys to join Novel November, which is happening this November, hosted by Pro Writing Aid, and it's going to be so much fun. There are already so many writers who have signed up for this challenge, and I'm going to be there with you guys. I'm going to be hosting a few Q&As and live writing sessions through the Nov community. I will also be hosting weekly Write With Me live streams here on my channel, so make sure you're subscribed. Stick around for that. But the challenge is totally free. You can sign up with the link below, and I hope to see you on the inside. It's gonna be amazing. Comment below and tell me, are you a plotter or a pantser? How much do you feel you have to prepare before you start that first draft? Again, if you want a closer look at my detailed outlining process, my chapter by chapter outlining method, I will link that video right here for you to check out. If you're a little more of a plotter like me, I think you'll love it. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you in the next one. Until then, my friend, happy writing and rock on.